Republicans in Congress push back on Trump weapons packages to Saudi Arabia, UAE. Washington. Reuters. Republican members of Congress pushed back on Wednesday against President Donald Trump's plan to sell $8 billion in weapons to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, saying it was unfortunate the administration used an emergency declaration to avoid congressional review. Members of Congress had been blocking sales of military equipment to Saudi Arabia and the UAE for months, angry about the deaths of civilians in their air campaign in Yemen, as well as human rights abuses such as the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi at a Saudi consulate in Turkey. The ranking Republican on the U.S. House of Representatives Foreign Affairs Committee, Michael McCaul, said at a hearing he supports the. Another Republican, Representative Ann Wagner, asked for a better understanding of the administration's move to sidestep congressional oversight given Saudi Arabia's human rights abuses. Citing an Iran-related emergency, the Trump administration told congressional committees on May 24 that it would go ahead with 22 military deals worth $8.1 billion to Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Jordan, circumventing a long-standing precedent for lawmakers to review major weapons sales. https://www.reuters.com/article/susa Saudi arms /defying Congress. Trump sets $8 billion plus in weapons sales to Saudi Arabia, UAE ID USKCN 1-25R. Democrats on the committee called the emergency declaration phony. Defending the administration's position, Assistant Secretary of State for Political Military Affairs Clark Cooper told the committee in testimony this. However, Cooper later said Cooper said that some of the weapons have already been sent to the customer since the emergency declaration and before Wednesday's hearing. Anything but, Cooper said there. U.S. senators have drafted 22 resolutions. Companies that would benefit include Raytheon Co. Precision Guided Munitions (PGMs), support for Boeing Co. F-15 aircraft, and Javelin anti-tank missiles, which are made by Raytheon and Lockheed Martin Corp. Reporting by Mike Stone in Washington, editing by Grant McCool.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.